Thank you so much, guys, for turning to this brand new video. I'm gonna share important interview of President Trump, and you will be literally shocked what President Trump just said in this interview. First of all, take a look at this important clip. What President Trump just said. Here we go.
What's your reaction to
Well,
that?
I was waiting for you to read that because I knew you would, because you're horrible people, horrible people.
We have some breaking news.
He is telling to
Donald
a
Trump
reporter that you're horrible people. Really?
60 Minutes interview with Norah O'Donnell about the shooting at the White House Correspondents' Dinner just aired. And it's stunning, even by Trump standards. Whatever decorum and civility Trump was briefly exuding in the aftermath of the shooting has totally evaporated. At one point, when she dares simply quote the shooter's manifesto and ask him questions about it, Trump comes unglued and viciously attacks her and the media and the Democratic Party writ large. It's stunning. But before we unpack all that, if you end up liking this video and you want to support the channel, please be sure to hit the like, subscribe, and alert bells before you go. All right, folks, I want to play these clips from Trump's 60 Minutes interview in chronological order, starting with this. So again, this is just so unnecessary. It sounds like he's just looking at this as like an attack on his vanity. I was standing tall. They asked me to go to the floor, but I wanted to stick around. I mean, if that's true, he put national security at risk. Donald Trump is the president of the United States, and putting himself in jeopardy is a national security risk. There's a reason that when Secret Service effectively issues a command to the president or the vice president, they're the only two people in the federal government who don't get a choice, right? I mean, they yanked J.D. Vance off the stage without his permission, without his choice. It's the same thing for Trump. So if what Trump is saying is true, that was incredibly reckless. But I think much of it was, he's just trying to make himself, appear like a strong man. That image is extremely important to him. In this clip, Norah O'Donnell asks Trump about his relationship with the press. Moving zero people have crossed through the southern border. No evidence to support that whatsoever. Number one. Number two, again, I would argue Trump is graded on a curve compared to a Democrat. I mean, he's so advantaged by the fact, it's just Trump being Trump. It's just how Trump talks. I mean, if anything, he is advantaged because of who he is. The press could probably, guaranteed to be far more critical of him based on his various failures and his corruption, his authoritarianism. And as you'll see, even in this interview, Norah O'Donnell treats him with kid gloves despite the attacks against her, the Democrats, and the press. Here's another. Just want to say, we're going to
President Trump only hate two things. He hate media that is against and that used to ask tough questions from President Trump. And the other thing he used to hate is Democratic Party. He hates so much. I don't know why.
Play the rest of this, but Donald Trump was found liable for sexual abuse and defamation of E. Jean Carroll in a civil court proceeding. A jury of his peers found him liable for sexual abuse and defamation. Despite the presumption of innocence, despite all the best attorneys that a corrupt billionaire ex-president can afford at the time, despite the standards of evidence being against those bringing the case, he lost. And it survived appeal after appeal after appeal. And the presiding judge in that lawsuit explicitly said in a subsequent hearing that what Donald Trump did would be considered in the common parlance as rape. Those were the exact words of the judge. So no, a federal judge begs to differ. That is what you've done. As far as the other charge against him, again, this seems to be a reference to his close association with Jeffrey Epstein, who was his best friend for years. And
remember this, Elon Musk posted, and he tweeted that there is a name of Trump in the Epstein files. I clearly remember that Elon Musk posted this about President Trump, and why he posted, what's the reality, and he's a friend of President Trump. You already know that, and he posted this about President Trump. I was literally shocked that Elon Musk can post this about President Trump.
Files revealed there were a few credible allegations against Trump, one of which was investigated multiple times by the FBI. Multiple interviews were conducted. We did videos about this. But again, she didn't accuse him. She just asked for his response to a perfectly reasonable question like, look, this is the shooter was targeting you and the members of your administration. This is what he had to say. What is your response? And he just flies off the handle. It's a perfectly reasonable question. So he's visibly triggered. He's pissed. That is an eminently reasonable question. In no universe is that not a reasonable question. She wasn't accusing you of anything. He took it as an accusation. Again, because he's visibly insecure. He is palpably insecure. And Trump has a closer association with Jeffrey Epstein than any prominent Democrat, including President Clinton. It's just, again, terrible response by this. Again, all that's going to do is inflame further suspicions about Trump regarding Epstein. Successfully, detain and arrest the suspect in question. But again, there are questions. How the hell was he able to get that far in? He wasn't even in the same room as Trump, but he made it get it in the building. And Trump posted footage where he runs past multiple law enforcement agents. So again, there are serious questions about this. And of course, even MAGA has questions at this point about the Butler, Pennsylvania attempted assassination. So Trump can try to downplay this all he wants, but there are legitimate security concerns, and this is only going to further inflame that scrutiny and those questions. So here, Trump again lashes out at the idea of the No Kings protest and people who criticize him for being an authoritarian, and then again he turns it into a jab against the press. He doesn't want to be dealing with the media. He really doesn't, which is why, again, he lashes out any time somebody asks him a perfectly reasonable question. And the No Kings protests, which, by the way, have been overwhelmingly peaceful, many protests having no arrests whatsoever. It is a shockingly peaceful series of mass protests, some of the biggest in the history of the planet, let alone the history of the United States. It's not that we're saying that Trump is a king. We know he's not a king. It's that he wants to be a king, which is emphatically true. This is a guy who is the most authoritarian president in American history, the most corrupt president in American history, a man who thinks that by signing an executive order, he can overturn constitutional law, a man whose Supreme Court justices granted him sweeping presidential immunity, the likes of which sovereigns get in monarchies like Great Britain, for example. He absolutely wants to be a king. He's violated the Constitution, the peaceful transfer of power, which is the most fundamental aspect of our democracy. All of that is perfectly legitimate. No one's saying Trump is a king. We're saying that he wants to be, and it's disturbing how far he's gone to try to make that a de facto reality. Perfectly reasonable. Again, he had a brief moment of grace, about a 12-hour window. I mentioned that. Again, I'm not giving him flowers for it. I'm not going to give him a parade for it. I refuse to grade him on a curve. But I did note, and I'm happy to note, that for the first time in the immediate aftermath of the shooting, Donald Trump did not immediately become divisive. He did not immediately attack the Democratic Party, liberals, progressives, or anything like that, which is his wont, which is his habit. But 24 hours later, he's back at it. He's back to his old tricks as the president of the United States, the most powerful, important, and influential person on earth.
Yeah, I just want to say something like why he mostly attack Democratic Party. I just want to know the answer of this question. I'm asking from you, why President Trump always hate Democratic Party, criticize Democratic Party, and when they criticize President Trump, then Press Secretary Trump, Caroline Leavitt, she comes and she says they are spreading violence. Can you believe if they are criticizing Democratic Party, if they are hating Democratic Party, then it's not violence. When they are doing, then it's kind of violence. The other thing, Trump always hate media. In this interview, he was literally shouting on the host, and she was. It's literally. I used to think U.S. is a country where there is kind of democracy, there is kind of free speech. But as this host said, Trump wants to be a dictator. Trump wants to be a king. So we can literally see Trump is behaving like a dictator, behaving like king. And the people are protesting. You have seen the No Kings rally. And due to this sad incident in the shooting on the dinner night, and Republican Party is using that sad incident to criticize Democratic Party, to criticize media as well. They are saying, they are blaming Democratic Party, Democrats. They are saying they are spreading violence. That's insane for me. For the very first time, I can see these type of behavior from Trump administration and from Trump as well. During election campaign, Trump said, "I will make America great again." And now everybody is getting tired of President Trump. Everybody is facing difficulty in their daily life. By the way, can you tell me what changes you have seen so far from Biden government to Trump government? It's the second term of Trump and it's been 1.5 years of president's second term. What changes you have seen so far in your daily life? I want to know about your opinion because your opinion matters a lot. Uh, I just really want to know what changes the common people of USA, the daily, the daily life becomes easy when there is a leader who work for you day and night. And Trump claims, I'm working for you. I love America. I love American people. And so what changes you are facing? Is it positive? Is it negative? You can tell me in the comment section. I'm a student of US politics and you're the teacher. You have to teach me the correct politics of USA. I'm literally, please excuse my accent as well. I'm not a native speaker. I'm just trying to learn American accent as soon as possible, do these videos and all this stuff. And please consider subscribing if you're new to this channel. When you click on the subscribe button, it means a lot to me. And I'll bring more important videos for you. Till then, please take care of yourself. Please take care of your health as well. It's really very important.